So yeah, consumption, and that's your thoughts, the music you listen to, I guess the actions, because they lead to, it's everything really. Like,
It is.
like in the craft, man, no, he's in everything. It's everything. If God and the devil were playing football, man, no would be the stadium they played on. But it's like it's everything. I can't, I watched that movie way too much.
Right.
But so we were looking at a video that was saying a lot of the music that we listen to is attuned, I guess, to the 808 frequency. And when Kanye made 808s and Heartbreak, which is one of my favorites. People hate on that album, but I think it's heavy on percussion. It's like African percussion, but it's heavy on the percussion. And I love drums. I like all kinds of instruments, but I like percussion. I feel like that's the melanin in us to, it's something, it brings something up that's primal, and like you feel it and you identify it, even if you don't know how to say it, you feel it. There's a lot of 808, which is it sacral chakra? It's sexual. So they try to, and it's a low vibration. Not that it's not important, but if that's all you're doing, and if that's the majority of, like, the bulk of your content, then it's too low. And when we have so many, there's more than 8 or 7 chakras, but the ones that the main ones that they focus on, there's so many other ones, and like you're ideally supposed to be in alignment altogether.
Right.
So anyway, they were saying that 432 hertz is healing frequency. Like, if you can listen to music that's attuned to that. And I was like, I know they got devices. We were discussing the devices to measure them, but that's not available to the average person, But anyway, I guess if you feel good, and if it's too, like she was saying, it's heavy in hip hop and electronic music. So I guess change up what you listen to, or experiment, like give things a try, not to get too much into this or that genre, unless it feels good. But I thought that was interesting, the frequencies.
Yeah, it is. And it's a certain artist, and you've probably all seen this video, and I'm not going to say his name because I don't want us to get in trouble. There's certain artists with a hit song right now, and it's a dance to it on TikTok, and it's viral. And people seen him wearing, all red and weird reptile contacts and weird hairstyles and doing weird performances on stage. And a reporter interviewed him, and she said, well, what makes your song so viral? Like, what do you think make your song popular? And he said, oh, it's hypnosis. I said, oh, okay, I'm not listening to your song anymore. You said hypnosis. That goes to show you. He said it, and he didn't care. He said, oh, it's hypnosis. I said, oh, okay. And if you listen to the song, you definitely hear it. It gets stuck in your head, and it's kind of like hypnosis, and he's being real. And who knows what else subliminal messages that he's putting into his music, because obviously he looks like he's going satanic. I don't know what he doing, but who knows what else he's putting in his music if he admit that it's hypnosis.
Right.
So I changed everything years ago. I changed everything that I listened to. I remember it was a certain artist that I loved, and I remember, this is so funny, I remember like probably 4 months ago, I said, oh, I want to listen to his hits again. I listened to his music, and kid you not, I felt like depressed the next day for no reason. And I'm like, why do I feel down? Why do I feel like this? And literally I said, oh, listening to that music last night put me in a certain emotion, in a certain frequency that subconsciously made me feel depressed the next day. So now I listen to Afro beats, I listen to reggae, I listen to old school 80s, 70s music. I listen to music, because I don't think this frequency stuff became popular until like the 2000s and now. Like, it just became popular where they use these things in music. Because I believe in the 80s music make you feel good, 70s music make you feel good.
Right.
So I don't think they used it back then, or if they did, it probably wasn't as frequent as they're doing now.
Right.
But
outright, like, just obvious with it.
And just obvious.
I appreciate the honesty though. Let me know, so I can make an informed decision.
Right. But when you listen to certain things, even if you listen to heartbreak music, I know people like heartbreak music and soul music, that love songs and but it will make you feel that even if you're not going through something, it will still make you feel down in a certain way because you keep listening. It's like affirmations. If you put on the song, I'm going down every 5 minutes, you keep singing that, bitch, you're gonna go down. Let's just be real. You play a song 25 times, it's just like you listen to an affirmation song or record. You have to listen to things that make you feel good. You have to consume music for your subconscious mind to make you feel good. So yeah, music is a part. Yeah, right.
I do have a nuanced take on it because Billie Holiday and stuff. She was saying, because I love Billie Holiday, I love all the old. I guess when music was first recorded was when I started liking especially the vocals.
Right.
But all music, I appreciate classical and all that shit, instrumental, all that jazz. But Billie Holiday was saying it makes her happy to sing the blues. I guess it's a release and a catharsis. I mean, she was. People like to focus on she was depressed all the time. She had fun and shit. I feel like she actually did live a whole life in her short 40-something years or however old. She was very young. But I would when I listened to Candy, Candy that was on the Cosby Show by Big Maybelle. Those are technically blues songs, but I do feel better. I don't listen to it repeatedly, but I do feel better. It's kind of like a release. Oh, she gets it. It's like a sermon.
But sometimes it can be therapeutic. Sometimes if you're going through it at the moment, it will make you feel better when you listen to certain things. But if you're not going through shit and you just turn on some music that's like saying heartbreak all day, you're gonna feel like you're going through a heartbreak. Right.
Yeah.
It's like you're manifesting something when you're not even manifesting, if that makes sense, because your subconscious is taking it in.
I was listening to, when I was talking about this time in my life, I was maybe 20 years ago, I was an adolescent, and I had a host of, what do you call it, clinical diagnoses. And anyway, I was listening, a lot of the media that the movies that I was watching, they were good, Girl Interrupted and Gia and stuff, but they had a dark quality to them. And they're still good movies. But I was attracted more to the darker, I'm also Scorpio rising, so Pluto and all that, I'm into that stuff anyway. But now I'm more holistic about it. I incorporate other things into it, and it was getting dark for a while, but even the art that I enjoyed was on the darker side. I still appreciate it though, you know what I mean? Because I'm the Scorpio rising and all that, but
you acknowledge that it was kind of dark side.
And it wasn't, because a holistic means both. So incorporating both, or holistic means all of it, incorporating, integrating all of it. So now there's more sun, before Leos are shining their suns. And
I feel like if you're mindful about it too, because now we are more mindful about it, so you can watch certain things as long as you're mindful not to take it into you. Oh, I want to watch this movie because it's a classic, but I'm not taking it into my life. You know what I mean? We can let it go and release it. But some people, if you're not mindful about what you're watching and what you're listening to, it could become your subconscious mind and it could take over. I feel like me and you, we said, our downtime is watching Ratchet TV.
Of course. I love New York and all the other ones.
But we don't incorporate that in our lifestyle. So basically we know how to determine that part. And I feel like if you know how to determine and decipher what is what, I feel like you won't get attached to it. But there are certain movies and certain music that you listen to that no matter what, if you're mindful or not, they have these evil undertones that will set into your subconscious. So
and
you
it's
just have
purposely
to be
orchestrated that way.
So you just have to be mindful at the end of the day of what you see, what you watch. And even when I see a horror movie, if it's too graphic for me, I say in my mind, I don't take this into my life. I say that just I don't claim this energy. Even
you're
if
already protected, but you're claiming your protection.
I'm claiming it, to my subconscious.
Outward. And to yourself,
I don't claim this
for
energy.
yourself.
Right.
And by yourself,
Right. So it's consumption is a whole, like you said, it's the music, it's the movies. But even
your thoughts.
It's your thoughts.
It's really, them thoughts be tricky AF, y'all. And so you're not alone. Definitely not. And even meditating, as I do, and there's no one right way to do it or a way to suggest it, except it's if you say don't think about something, then you're going to inevitably think about it. So it's been described to me, and what I do is as not measuring, but being aware of your thoughts, the stream of consciousness, and being aware of them non-judgmentally. And then just and being the observer of them, and not the ego that animates them. But we can we can talk more about that After this short break.
Right?
Yeah, so even those thoughts are tricky. Like those self-sabotaging, like I'm not going to be my own saboteur anymore. And I'm very familiar with that. So
Right.
I'm speaking from personal experience. So the thoughts for me are the trickiest now. I feel like, but it also like the 3D. So I guess thoughts, and then like the people around you, like
Right.
curating constructive, like high quality material,
Right.
not material, but energy, basically,
Right.
and that goes down to your own inner thoughts too.
Yeah.
But the people you keep around you or not. I had this I made this quote that I had a thought and I was like, that looks good and I can probably improve it because if I write it down, I can improve how it sounds, like just
Right.
make it succinct and shit. But it was more or less like I am the curator of my life.
Right.
I have the power to say, and I will use it to say what and who stays, whether it stays and how long it stays. And that's my mantra at this point, and it's done me well.
Right.
I feel, but it's everything. It's
Right.
the thoughts, it's the rocks, it's the ground, it's the
Right.
moon. It's all of these. That's the
Definitely
consumption.
is. It is.
You can speak on that.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
believe that the people that are around you in your surroundings is a part of consuming. You're consuming energy, you're consuming feelings, you're
Right.
consuming emotions from others. So I feel like if you have a bad group around you with negative energy and always depressed and always like, talking down to you or, just negative in general, then you're consuming that energy. You're consuming those emotions. You're consuming that personality. And sometimes you don't even know it, like it's subconsciously. Even being around a negative family member, that can consume
Come in
you.
any form.
In any form.
Yeah. In the form of yourself, like I said. I was
Yeah.
thinking horrible thoughts about myself.
Right.
Not
Right.
like literally like horrible, but
Right.
it's just anything that was less than what the actual good truth is.
Right.
In the whole in truth, yeah.
Be mindful about who you're around too. Be mindful about what energy is this and how is this benefiting me? Is this bringing me to a higher level of frequency? Is this bringing me up to my higher self? Is this matching my energy? Is
Right.
this matching what I'm doing? Is this benefiting me in any way, shape, or form? Or is this tearing me down? How and I like what you said earlier. It's all about how it makes you feel. Just like consuming food. If you say, oh, I want a donut today, and you go to the store and you go get 12 donuts and then you eat those whole pack of 12 donuts and then you feel like shit after, it's because you consumed a 12 pack of powdered donuts. Like, this is consumption. You have to treat your mind, body, soul, and spirit as if you are the queen. You have to pay attention to what you consume. You have your food that you put in your body, the water that you drink, your surroundings, your music, your television. Everything is one. And when you're consuming something that's bad for you, guess what? You're manifesting bad in your life. You're manifesting things in your life that's not good for you. Your subconscious mind is taking all that in. So you want to watch things that's good. Like I said, I listen to things that make me feel good. I eat shit that makes me feel good. And I don't feel guilty about it later. I have a crew around me that makes me feel good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
It's a holistic consideration. Yes, and practice.
Yes, and if you don't know it, everything is connected.
Yes.
So once you are on a certain frequency, guess what? The frequency is going to come right back to you. So you have to stay on a high frequency so higher vibrations can come back to you. Everything is connected.
And your thoughts as well, because the universe will corroborate your thoughts. It's like, oh, if that's how you think it's so, then so it is.
Absolutely, but if you
and the people,
if you
everything.
detach,
right.
if you detach and distance yourself and disregard and like you said, detach yourself from your thoughts. Don't judge it, but just detach. You're putting yourself in, hey, I'm mindful about this. I acknowledge it, but this is not me. And it's a work in progress. But you can get it once you practice it and you keep going and you keep trying to be mindful. And it's all, like I said, it's all about being mindful of what you do.
Radical, like extreme mindfulness. Like
Right.
so for me, it has to be a lifestyle. Just like
Right.
being vegan. Like I can't, like you were saying, if you eat food that's not, because when I was omnivorous, those Thanksgivings, I totally gorged, because that's the gorging holiday, right?
Yeah.
It's also thankfulness,
Right.
But and then the turkey and the tryptophan, so you're supposed to get to, they make you tired. And that's the biggest drinking night, the night before Thanksgiving. You would think it's New Year's Eve, so
Right.
a lot of maybe the average American, I guess, is getting drunk on the Wednesday,
Right.
and then so you're hungover on Thursday and dehydrated anyway, and then
Right.
you're eating like. And I remember because I was this person, you know, I would do this, and I'm not putting people down. I'm just saying the systems and the way that they set people up
Right.
for failure is something we should be aware of.
And
Because
it's-
I felt
Right.
But yeah, I would wake up and have that. They call it the itis. You
Right.
get the itis and you're so sick.
Exactly.
Itis means inflammation.
Right.
So you know,
Right.
I'm just saying.
And I'm not saying, you know, don't enjoy your best life and don't eat what you want to eat.
Yeah.
But just be mindful of your consumption process, because anything that you eat, if you take enough of it, it's bad for you. Even spinach. So like, if you know what I'm saying? Anything you eat, if
Water.
you take even water, you
Did you
can't
hear
do enough.
about that? It's not even funny.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right.
The woman who I think it was a that she was trying to win her daughter, and she had to drink something like insane, like a gallon of water, like in I don't know how many minutes, but it was anyway. She passed away because it was water intoxication is what they called it. And I'm like, how did even for someone to put like agreeing to it is crazy, but then also like the people who put her up to like the
Right.
people on the radio show or whatever. That's
Right.
It was just horrible. But yeah, even water.
Right.
So,
right.
mhm.
So
And we are water.
Yeah, and we are.
Mhm.
That's right.
Mhm.
And even like I said, change what you do to make yourself better, to match your frequency. Change
Right.
what you read. I only read books of inspiration. I used to read suspense and mystery. Now I enjoy a good suspense and mystery book. I would excuse my dog, guys. If you hear him in the background growling, just just
Right.
don't pay attention.
We are in real life.
We're trying to like ignore him, but whatever.
It's all right. It's
So,
all right. The content is most important.
Right. I still enjoy a good suspense and mystery book, but like we said, we know how to separated it from everything else. We know how to separate it from everything else. So I can read 10 inspirational books and still read that one mysteries, because I know how to balance it. I'm not going to read 10 mystery or suspense books. I'm going to read 10 inspirational books and then go to the suspense. So it's like, it's a balance in life. You take in more good than you take in more bad, basically. So that's how I feel.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell anybody how to live their life, but like I said, it's all about, because everybody is different. So it's all about things that what makes you feel good at the end of the day. If you hear something or listen to something and it doesn't make you feel good the next day or the end of the day or whatever the case may be, then stop listening to it. If you read something that didn't make you feel good, stop reading it. Even with your social media, what you take in with social media can get into your subconscious mind. I stopped following multiple accounts that were spreading negative news and start following inspirational accounts and start following motivational accounts. So when I wake up in the morning and I check, the first thing I check on my Instagram, oh, it's a motivational, inspiring quote or message. That's a good thing, because I cleared out my crazies and uglies, so it's nothing else on there that can bother me. And if I do have a profile or somebody I follow on there that I think is shady or whatever the case may be, I'm gonna hide their stories and I'm hiding from mine, because that's not going to play in my head.
Curating your content.
That's that point.
Absolutely.
And that's creating my consumption and what I consume. So that's it. Period.
It's a holistic thing. It really is.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you for listening to Hush Hush, Juju and Shay, Taboo Talks, of this episode of consumption. I feel like we broke it down really, I feel like we really broke this episode down in the meaning of consuming in daily life, period, and how it's important.
Yeah, and how much it penetrates like all the aspects of our lives.
Right.
Hey, that was a spirited, I like that, spirited conversation.
Yeah.
I could have said more, and during we do cuts and stuff. So during one of the cuts, I was like, I had something to say, and it just went right out the window.
We can talk part two.
We can. It'll
always
come
do
back.
part two.
Let us know, y'all, because we appreciate the input. So
and let us know what you think, and how do you feel when you listen to certain music. Be mindful. Like when you're listening to something, let me know how you really feel about it. Like, hey, you're right.
Yeah.
Shay, I was listening to this the other day and I did feel this. Or, yeah, Juju, you're right. I was on this and I did feel like this. So just pay attention what you're consuming. Mind,
the
body,
lyrics,
spirit. The
of
lyrics,
course, because they're spells, but also spelling,
affirmations.
but also the way that the music, the instrumentation makes you feel,
the
because the instrumentation as
frequencies.
well.
Right.
I would a lot of the time focus more on lyrics. I was always appreciative of the whole songs, but I would have more, not even lyrics. Actually, I focused on how it felt, but I liked good quality vocalists.
Right.
Now it's like, oh wait, but there's good instrumentation. There's good instrumental music, period, with no vocals.
Right.
There's a cappella music with just vocals, and there's everything in between.
Right.
And so it's a feeling.
Right.
Y'all
It
record
definitely
for
is.
yourselves how it makes you feel, but
Definitely
feel free to
is.
let us know because it
Yes.
is interesting and it affects everybody.
Yes, it does.
All right.
And thank you for listening. And don't forget to hit us up on our Instagram.
Yes, hush__podcast on IG.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye bye.